it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I'm sharing with you 5 K-beauty serums for summer 2025. That's right, it is right around the corner. I cannot believe it. Hot weather is coming and you may be thinking about switching up your skincare routine. So today I want to share with you 5 different serums for different skin concerns and different skin types that perform beautifully in hot weather. If you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's get started. Torriden Balanceful Cica Calming Serum. Now this is going to be a really great serum if you do have dehydrated skin, but also if you're struggling with acne or congestion prone skin or texture, because this serum actually offers a light amount of exfoliation. So the key ingredients include, of course, Centella extract, but then we also have the 4 active compounds of Centella in here too. Now the active compounds, those are the compounds in the Centella plant that are most responsible for all of Centella's beautiful benefits on the skin, all the soothing, the anti-inflammatory benefits, the antioxidant benefits, the wound healing abilities, the ability to reduce redness, right? So all of the fantastic benefits are really isolated, very pure and very potent in these active compounds. And then they have also included panthenol, which is a very hydrating ingredient, and one that I would really suggest if you're looking for like the most hydrating skincare, especially for summertime. Panthenol is that girl. You know, panthenol is a drink of water for your skin. This also includes 7 different types of hyaluronic acid, which again, a humectant ingredient that can really plump up and hydrate the skin. Now, as I mentioned, this serum does actually offer a bit of light exfoliation for the skin, and that's coming in the form of LHA. Now, this is a chemical exfoliant ingredient that acts really similar to BHA or salicylic acid on the skin, and it is often referred to as a new generation BHA. So this is an exfoliant that dives deep into the pore lining. It is oil soluble. So instead of just exfoliating on top of your skin, it actually gets deep inside the pore where the congestion starts, where the clogged pore begins, and where the acne forms. So if you are prone to these skin conditions, this is a really great exfoliant to look for because it gets down to the source and exfoliates inside the pore lining to loosen up the dead skin cells and the excessive oil getting trapped in there, causing that clog. So it is actually considered to be gentler than BHA. I think that's part of the reason why it gets that new generation kind of label on it. It is a little bit gentler on the skin than salicylic acid. So if you're not super duper sensitive to chemical exfoliants, this is something that you could incorporate into your skincare routine even once a day, quite honestly. If you are more sensitive, this is your girl though. Like if you're sensitive to salicylic acid, using an LHA based skincare product like this one a couple times a week may offer you better results than trying to blast your skin with the more aggressive salicylic acid. So there's a couple of different ways to kind of incorporate this into your routine depending on your skin sensitivities. But I think what's important to understand is it is able to exfoliate inside of the pore lining, but it is a gentle ingredient. So I really love the texture of this serum because it is a really nice, lightweight, deeply hydrating drink of water type of serum. It has this gel texture. As you spread it across your skin, it just bursts into hydration and it really gets in the deeper layers of the skin. And that's why I said this can be really good for dehydrated folks because it does offer so much hydration to the skin, surprisingly. So it feels really refreshing, cooling, hydrating, even a little plumping to the skin. And it's a really light, breathable gel texture. So it doesn't dry sticky or tacky. You know, sometimes gel textures, you think they're going to be light and then they kind of dry and absorb on the skin. You're like, actually, these kind of like medium to heavy on my skin, or they're really sticky or greasy feeling at the top. Not this one. I mean, this performs like very hydrating skincare, very light, very breathable, non-sticky. And I think I could see this working for a majority of skin types. This product is marketed towards oily skin, and I think it is suitable for oily skin types, but there is benefit here for balanced skin types, combination skin types, even dry skin types that are suffering with that congestion and texture deeper within the pores. This could be a good product for you. So I've actually recommended this a few summers ago, and it is a product that I tend to gravitate towards in the hot weather, mostly due to that hydrating, lightweight, really breathable texture, but also for that lightweight exfoliation, because because you can be a little bit more prone to some congestion and texture when it's hot, when you're sweating, right? When that sweat and oils start to mix on the skin, you might see yourself needing a little bit more exfoliation, and this offers it in a really beautiful, gentle format. iUNIK Beta Glucan Power Moisture Serum. Now, this is going to be my recommendation for those who are suffering with dehydrated skin, who have combo skin, but I think it's also great for those who are looking for some gentle while aging options. And if you're looking for a vegan alternative to snail mucin, this is a great one to go towards. So the main ingredient here is beta glucan. Now, this is a really interesting ingredient. It's actually a really large molecule that's made up of very small sugar molecules, polysaccharides, and it is a deeply hydrating, quite plumping type of ingredient. As I mentioned, this can be a nice vegan alternative to snail mucin because beta glucan is actually derived from sources like oats, yeast, or mushrooms. So it's not being derived from an animal source like snail mucin, but it has a lot of similar benefits and quite a similar texture and quality to it as well. Not only does this deeply hydrate and balance out the skin, but it can also be great for wound healing. It has a soothing anti-inflammatory property to it, and it's also great for irritated or sensitive skin. Beta glucan also acts similar to hyaluronic acid, but it actually dives deeper into the skin than traditional hyaluronic acid does. And so not only does it hydrate the skin, it has the ability to plump out the skin, and that can be very beneficial for the appearance of things like fine lines, wrinkles, or even if it feels like your skin is losing elasticity. Beta glucan, just like hyaluronic acid, can get deeper into the skin and really plump that out, smooth out the skin, and offer a lot of lasting hydration. So your skin is going to look more lifted, more smooth, and fine lines and wrinkles are going to appear less deep on the skin. This also contains some adenosine. That's a cell communicating ingredient. It has multiple benefits for the skin, but it can help with skin elasticity, but it's also great for soothing irritated skin, and it can be helpful for antioxidant protection as well. Other humectants, we've got sodium PCA in here, as well as glycerin, and all these ingredients help your skin hold on to more hydration. So it all comes together in a thicker, medium-like gel texture, as I mentioned, quite similar to snail mucin if you're familiar with that texture, even down to that classic kind of stringy trail that this can leave, that mozzarella cheese effect. But this gel texture is quite plumping, very deeply hydrating, really dives deep into the skin, plumps it out, smooths it out, really replenishes it. And just at the top, there's no like creaminess to this. There's no emolliency to this, but just because there is a little bit more of a fullness to this gel, you will feel just a little bit of like a kiss, just a tiny whisper of moisture that's really breathable. It's non-occlusive, it's not heavy, it's not greasy, and it just kind of hugs everything in. And I find this texture, this kind of medium gel texture, particularly good for dehydrated skin in hot weather. And that's exactly when I fell in love with this serum so many years ago. I think it was the summer of 2019 that this was really the serum that had my back. I was going through quite a bit of skin irritation. I was really working out quite a bad reaction to essential oils in my skincare routine. You know how I'm always passionate about talking about fragrance-free and essential oil-free skincare. It's because of this period in time where my skin was suffering so much because essential oils were like in every skincare product I was using. Couldn't figure out why my skin was so itchy and red and like burning. And so as I was recovering from that irritation and working those fragrant products out of my skincare routine, I actually started using this product. And it was, yeah, the summer. It's hot, it's humid here in the upper Midwest, and you want your skin to be able to breathe, but you also want it to be able to repair and calm down that inflammation, right? And so this kept my skin really hydrated. It kept my skin feeling really strong, but also calm and soothed while still allowing it to breathe in all of that humidity. So it's really a well-performing product any time of year, but I particularly found it useful for my sensitive, irritated combination skin in the summertime. Because that gel, texture is a little bit more, as I described, a little bit more meaty, medium weight on the skin. I think oily skin types may not love this one. This one might feel heavier for oily skin types, but if you have like a balanced skin type, combination skin especially, that's my skin type, and I think even dry skin will appreciate what this offers to the skin. And again, if you are are familiar with snail mucin, this is a vegan alternative that offers a lot of the same benefits in a very similar texture with the same amount of hydration on the skin. Numbuzin #1 Pantothenic B5 Active Soothing Serum. Now this serum is going to be really great if you do have an oily skin type and you're also suffering with dehydration. This can also be particularly helpful for those who have acne-prone skin. This serum features pantothenic acid. Now this is different than panthenol, which the serum also contains, and I'll talk about in just a second, but it is important to understand this is not panthenol, it is pantothenic acid. It's related, but the benefits are actually different. So pantothenic acid actually helps to regulate excessive sebum production on the skin, so too much oil production on the skin, and it also helps to reduce inflammation on the skin. And so this is particularly helpful. As I mentioned, if you do have oily skin, you will get oil control from this serum, and if you do suffer with acne, this can also help to reduce that, because not only is it helping to cut down on the oil, which contributes to your acne breakouts, but also the inflammation of the breakouts that you may have on your skin currently. So it's a beautiful oil controlling ingredient and an anti-inflammatory ingredient. Now they are also using panthenol, which is, I think a lot of people get pantothenic acid and panthenol confused. They are actually both vitamin B5, but they do offer different benefits. So panthenol, as I've talked about a little bit already, very hydrating for the skin, a drink of water for your skin. It also is something that helps to support your skin barrier function as well. But panthenol has a really watery, lightweight, breathable texture to it that makes it a particularly good humectant for summer weather. This serum also contains multiple forms of hyaluronic acid and beta-glucan, as we've already covered. All of these ingredients do offer a lot of hydration to the skin. Now, I am very adamant about my recommendation that this is for oily skin types. If you have a dry skin type, if you have combo skin that leans dry like mine, this is not for you. And I want to be very clear and very explicit about that, because as I mentioned, pantothenic acid can sometimes make us fill in the blank and go, oh, that's panthenol, right? And like, yes, but no. The oil controlling property to this formulation actually does mean that it will control oil. So it will dry you out if you don't have excessive oil to spare on your skin, dry skin combo that leans dry, right? Or very severely dehydrated skin without excessive oil. This is actually going to backfire on you, in my personal opinion. This formula is very much suited for folks who have too much oil on their skin, but need deeply hydrating skincare that performs in hot weather and that's not thick and overwhelming and weighing their skin down. This is going to help to control the oil. It's going to help with the inflammation. There's also some astringent extracts in here that can be beneficial for oily and acne prone skin. So it's got a really impressive texture. It performs real, oftentimes those light gel textures don't offer a lot of hydration. This is what I mean by impressive. I'm impressed by how thin it is, but how hydrating it is. But I do just want to recommend again, if you don't have oil to spare, this is not the serum for you. I've got so many other recommendations in this video. Purito Centella Unscented Serum. Now this is going to be great for those who are looking for a serum that really helps to calm down the skin, that's anti-inflammatory, that can reduce redness, but also something that can offer some brightening to the skin, some well-aging benefits in a deeply hydrating formula. This will also be great if you do suffer with dehydration. So this serum does contain Centella, as the name suggests, but it also contains the 4 active compounds of Centella. They've also included some other versions of Centella, including Cica XO, which helps with wound healing, and they are also including 3% of niacinamide in the formula, as well as a couple of different well-aging peptides that help to stimulate collagen. This has a really beautiful gel texture. It's a little bit runny, but you can see it has a bit more body than the numbuzin serum does. So a little bit more fullness, and it does actually carry, I think, a really good amount of hydration to the skin. It spreads really beautifully, very evenly and lightly on the skin, absorbs quickly, and really delivers that hydration deep down. This does have a soothing benefit to it. It's actually really great if your skin is kind of stressed out from the hot weather. I find that when it's really hot and when I'm sweating, right, my skin goes a little bit more red. It can feel just a little bit more sensitive than it normally is. Like, it just doesn't quite feel like itself. It just feels a little irritated, right? A little, what I call sun stunned. You spend a lot of time time in the sun, your skin just really starts to feel it. This is very cooling, very refreshing, but also calming and soothing. All of the concentrated centella in this can reduce the inflammation and the redness on the skin. And the thing about inflammation is, which the sun can cause on the skin, it can actually cause a lot of damage to our skin. That leads to premature aging, that can lead to hyperpigmentation, that can lead to damage to the collagen structure. So it's actually good to calm that inflammation down. Centella is really beautiful at that. This is one of those types of serums that I would recommend keeping in the refrigerator if your skin really does kind of flare up in the sun and goes really red. This can really calm down hot skin. It's the perfect texture. It's the perfect amount of hydration, and it will perform beautifully at chilled as well too. So this is just top to bottom like a really great serum for summer. And the thing is, I reviewed this, I think it was just last year that I reviewed. This is a reformulated version of a serum that I had been using for many years prior. And I was like, I don't really know about this reformulation. Like, I'm a little disappointed to lose the old formula. But funny thing is, all last summer you saw me using it anyways. And I was like, all right, I fess up. Like, I actually just find myself gravitating towards this a lot because it just performs so well in hot weather. And that's really why I wanted to include it in this year's video, because I used it all last summer and it did exactly what I just told you. My experience using this newer formula in the hot weather, it was exactly what my skin was craving. It was exactly what it needed. It's incredibly gentle, but really soothing and really deeply hydrating. Ampoule and Ceramide Shot Ampoule. Now, this is going to be great for folks who are suffering with a lot of dehydration. And this is also really good if you're struggling with a weak moisture barrier. And the thing is, we often think about weak moisture barriers in terms of like seasons like winter, right? Or seasonal transitions like going into fall and when it gets colder and maybe a little bit drier, right? But we don't always associate a weak barrier and seasonal changes into summertime, especially if you live in a humid climate. Where I live, it can get quite humid, and my dehydration prone skin actually thrives in the humidity of summer. But that is not often the case if we're spending most of our summertime inside in air conditioning. Air conditioning makes the air inside not humid. It dries it out, right? And if you're sitting in a lot of air conditioning long term, it is actually quite common for your skin to feel a little bit dry, a little bit tight. It actually starts to feel a little bit irritated deep within the skin, right? I call it like 4 p.m. Tightness, right? It's like you just can't wait to go home and wash your face because it's just like your skincare is like wearing off or something. That's a symptom of dehydration, and it is most likely due to the air conditioning. When I used to work in an office, this happened all the time. It's like my skin is getting so dry and so beautiful and humid outside. Beautiful. But my skin is like starting to really like get very dry from the inside out, sitting in all of this air conditioning, right? So it actually is quite common to experience this in the summer months. So if you feel like you need to kind of like recover your skin barrier during this season, this is the serum that I would recommend because it's still very breathable. It's still incredibly hydrating. It will really soothe that dehydration, but it does contain the ceramide content that you need to strengthen up that weak barrier, which is in the long run going to resist the dehydration from that dry air that you're exposing your skin to. So here in the ingredients list, we do have 3 different types of ceramides. We have cholesterol and fatty acid content here, and those are the 3 things that strengthen up the skin barrier. But then we have a whole host of really good humectant content here, and that's what brings the hydration and that relief, to that tight 4 p.m. skin feeling, right? So we've got glycerin and beta glucan, as we've already covered, but they're also using a trio of 3 humectant hydrating ingredients called Aquasil. And this is a trio of ingredients that I found in other serums that really do burst into hydration on the skin, and that's what this serum does for you. This also contains some niacinamide, which we know is a brightening ingredient, but it is also something that helps with your skin barrier. And then there's just a little bit of macadamia seed oil, and this is offering just a little bit of moisture. And so everything actually comes together in more of an emulsion-like texture. This is very different than everything else that we've talked about today that had very gel-like, runny kind of textures. This has a little look of a cream kind of mixed into a gel-like texture, but don't let that fool you too much. This is very hydrating, very plumping, and still very breathable on the skin. So as you spread it, you're going to get all of those humectants are going to go deep into the skin and burst into hydration. It feels so incredibly soothing, so incredibly refreshing, really replenishing, especially if your skin is really craving it. If it's real thirsty, it will drink this up. And then you get that little kiss of creaminess, that little hint of that macadamia seed oil. It's not overwhelming. It's not greasy. It doesn't even feel oily at the surface, but there's just that skin softening, skin conditioning, moisturizing effect that just hugs everything in. So deeply hydrating, quite plumping, and then a little bit moisturizing and smoothing at the top. It feels amazing, and my skin drinks this serum in. It feels so, so good. So because of this texture, you know, it's definitely going to be more suited for combination skin types because we have a little bit of everything going on here, just not in a really heavy, dense emulsion texture, right? It's still very much suitable for hot weather, but we do have that hydration element with that kiss of moisture. I think it could work for dry skin. I think it will also work for balanced skin types. Oily skin types, this is something that if you're really struggling with your barrier, I would suggest keeping this one for maybe more of a nighttime type of serum, a restorative overnight type of serum, because it might be a little overwhelming just because there is a little bit more heft to this, a little bit more thickness. If you have oil on your skin, it might start to feel a bit weighed down just because, like I said, it's a little bit more bouncy, right? But at nighttime, it would really offer your skin all the things that it needs to repair as you're sleeping and really strengthen up that skin barrier. And then you can go in for something lighter during the day, right? So I think there's a flexibility here in the texture, but do know that it is offering a bit more moisture than the other products that we've talked about in today's video. It's probably close to the moisture levels of the iUNIK Beta Glucan serum that we talked about. They're probably close. I do feel like maybe Ampoule N is a little bit, maybe even a little bit lighter than that one. Maybe. Just kind of depends on how your skin accepts the texture. But there is a bit of a moisturization element to it, and that's really important to know. But this is actually a really nice serum for really strengthening up the skin barrier and resisting dehydration. I'm so looking forward to summer this year, and I hope that these recommendations helped you get ready for summer weather as well. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these or what your favorite summertime skincare products are. Let me know all about them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and it was helpful, please hit subscribe. Come join our skincare community. If you love K-beauty, if you love deep diving into ingredients and textures, that's what my channel is all about. So hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so much. I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light, and I can't wait to talk to you in the next video. Bye.